All right, so here we go, everybody. Thank you for joining Roofing It podcast today. Today's featured guest is Elizabeth Calzadilla. Did I pronounce that right?
You did. Good
I'm probably
job.
the only one who says it like that, huh?
Yeah.
So, Elizabeth, I'm really excited to have you on the show and to be talking to you. I've been wanting to do this for so long. And just to kind of like get things going, we're talking about a lot of interesting things. The roofing process conference is one of them, and also your business and kind of how you got things going. And but just to get the elephant out of the room, there was a big
Mm.
post a while ago that got me. Somebody posted something crazy about you standing them up in a hotel. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was someone I had like really no idea about this person even like really like that. Like we had messaged a couple of times and just like, oh, showing me support. And then all of a sudden, one day he makes a post about me saying, like, oh, how can she, ignore me, blah, blah. I wasn't ignoring him because it's just, there's only so many hours in the day. I can only respond to people sometimes if it's about real business.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't just sit there and make conversations. And plus, like, as a woman in the industry, you want to carry yourself with respect and make sure that the relationships that you're going to be in professionally are ones of value. So, anyways, yeah, he just made a crazy post for absolutely no reason. And when I saw it, I was like, what the heck? And he had out of nowhere just made that post about me.
Well, you know what the thing about that post is like, fine if you're bothered, whatever, you felt you got, like we all sure have complaints about even if a critique of customer service, for example, but it kind of made it about like this female thing, and like I feel like it's just it's a symptomatic thing in the roofing industry of it's a male
Mhm.
dominated industry, right? And like it's tough for a female to make it. I feel like a female has to kind of like work harder than everyone else, has to kind of be more unique than everyone else. And really, I mean, would you agree with that or disagree?
Um, well, see, one thing about me is that I'm not too big on like, oh, I'm a woman. I gotta do this, this, and this to prove the one thing that I focus on in life is just helping as many people as I possibly can. Creating as much of a positive change as I can for myself, for my team, and for other people's lives and for my family. And then I feel everything else comes from that. I think if more people, more women especially focused on that, they would be more successful because a lot, I think specifically business owners, and one reason why I feel like I've been doing well is because even though it is a male dominated industry, all the men in this industry, for the most part, when they see someone that's intelligent, that can make them money, they recognize opportunity a lot quicker. So that's one reason why I think I have been able to accomplish what I have is because I don't have that mindset of being like, oh, I'm a woman. I'm like the underdog here. No, I'm just like,
Yeah.
how can I leverage being a woman to my advantage and how can I connect with more people and add value to their lives?
Well, there is that aspect of like being a woman in the roofing industry is different, to a certain extent.
Mhm.
And any industry, if you can be different, you want to differentiate yourself somewhere, and you've definitely been able to do that. It's been pretty amazing. Like, let's back up a little bit because I remember like years ago, you were the face, and we don't have to mention the company, you were the face of a company in the roofing industry. I
Mm,
mean, like that's everybody knew you through that company. And then you
yeah.
changed. And I remember that happened. I was like, wait, what? Like Elizabeth's not with that company anymore? And like, I was almost like,
Yeah.
what's going on? Like everything shifted for me. And I was like, why would she leave? You were there for years and years. And like, you were like the go-to person there, right? I mean, that must have been such a big deal for you back then.
Yeah, so I was there for 5 years. And it was absolutely amazing. I'm very grateful for that opportunity. That my bosses at the time did mentor me quite a bit in the industry. They used to own a supply chain before they started the roofing app. So they had a lot of knowledge, and they're just really great, smart people that put so much knowledge into me, and I owe a lot to them. What I did to repay them for how much they trained me is I worked so hard with them in the early stages to build that company. I worked 12-hour days with the boss. I would get there before him and leave with him. Like, I worked really, really hard alongside the CEO at that time to be the best that I could be to help that company level up, because I saw the vision. And they were very, very great people to me. They treated me well. So it wasn't because of anything bad. It was just because I have the spirit in me to accomplish a lot in life. And when you're given a gift, you have to maximize it. You can't die with your dreams, so it was my responsibility to carry on now to my next phase of life. Even though I did enjoy that one so much, and I'm so appreciative of it, and it gave me the knowledge. Think about this. I used to cold call roofing contractors all over the country every single day. And then, so I had to master the art of cold calling. I had to learn everything about roofing. Like,
Wow.
I had to learn what are the layers of a roof system, what happens, what's the process of getting a new roof, how are companies getting paid, what's the difference between retail and insurance, what are the biggest technology companies out there in the industry right now, like what are contractors using, what's Exactame. I had to learn an entire industry just to be able to sell a product. And then once I would get with someone on the phone, like my caption was like, so how are you currently measuring your roofs? And they'd be like, oh, well, blah, blah, we're using XYZ. And then now we can get into a conversation. And at that time, I had to show them that I could add value. Like, hey, look, why don't we just jump on a call really quick? Let me show you this. Walk me through your process. So I spoke with thousands of roofers specifically about their business process.
Yeah.
I have seen thousands and thousands and thousands of roofing websites, roofing logos, roofing sales pitches. Like, I have I feel like gold. Like, I have gold of years of storage of information in my brain from this.
How scary was that? That must have been crazy, because you were like, you had a good job. You were basically a software sales executive, for the most part. Good regular job with like a salary and bonuses and all that. And then you like took the plunge into what you're doing now, which that first few months had to be like terrifying. Am I right?
I mean, it's scary every day. So when I left, I was the communications manager. So I was already at a pretty high level. The company had, over 25 employees at that point. So yeah, I had a very secure job. I had a lot of potential there, and there's really wasn't any reason to leave. And so leaving was even scarier because I didn't have anything pushing me to leave. It was more of, this is my dedication to my dreams. And
Was a business
one of the
411
things,
just an idea at that point? Was it like a business plan at least?
it wasn't even an idea.
Wasn't even an idea?
There
Dang, you were ready to do something different then.
I needed freedom. So I'm actually writing a book right now called Freedom Street. And the funny thing is, I actually live the road that I live on right now is called Freedom Street. And it's been my journey of I've developed as a person to be able to develop a business that develops other businesses. Because developing one business is a challenge in itself, but to dedicate yourself to building other people's businesses, that has to be something that comes from your heart and from your vision. So that's really my dream. And so when I quit my job, I had like nothing.
Well, you have a
had
kid
nothing.
too, right?
Yeah, I have a kid. I quit my job. 2 months later, I had like on and off with my son's father. We broke up again. So now I'm a single mom with a 3-year-old, no real savings, like just increased I had to get an apartment by myself. Like, this was all happening this time last year. I moved with my son out of the house that I was living in. I had a business with my son's father, basically worked on that business for years while I was doing my old job, and left with nothing.
Okay.
So when I left with nothing, I felt like I can either, focus on leaving with nothing, or I can focus on what I'm going to build. And I still work 6-7 days a week.
Yeah, for
10,
sure.
12 hours a day.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at now. We
Yeah.
have 7 full-time employees.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot in a small period of time. So, wow, that's
Yeah.
really amazing, Elizabeth. And so, okay, so now let's kind of like switch gears a little bit, because you somehow teamed up with Dmitry, which was really important and smart because he's so well connected with the roofing community through YouTube and whatnot. And then, and that kind of helped with sort of like, I'm guessing, going to build a channel into, meeting more people that are in the industry who need your help, big time. I know one of his people that helps him a lot, Nate. You've helped Nate, and Nate did some crazy post. I remember, like, he was literally crying on Facebook. I don't mean to laugh at him. I mean, that took a lot of balls, but I mean, he'd probably laugh too. He's like, he was crying because you helped his business so much that he didn't even know what to do with it, So that's pretty amazing.
I just got off. I just got off the phone with Nate. I've been blessed to meet Nate and Dmitry. We'll start with Dmitry. So Dmitry, I absolutely am such a big fan of his. Like, before even anything else, he is the type of person that motivates me to be better, because he's been a real mentor for me over the last year. And one thing that I try to find in life is people whose vision is so big, and then just help them. So my heart is of being a servant, which is why I do what I do. And I knew that if I helped him get closer to his goals, I would automatically surpass mine, because his goals at that time are bigger than mine. So the way that I see it, the more people you help, the more your goals are going to grow, because everybody's going to expand your mind. They're going to have different visions. They're going to have different ideas. So I approached him at a job Nimbus conference, and I was like, look, Dmitry, I don't care what you're doing. I just quit my job. Like, at this point, this is right when I had like no money, and was just starting my business. And I was like, let me do something. I'll work for free. I don't care. Like, I wasn't in it to make money. And I was like, let me just do something.
Yeah.
So I started working with him, building the Roofing Insights channel on the paid side. For the last year. It's already been over a year now.
Okay.
And throughout that time, I used a lot of the connections that I already had in the industry, on the manufacturers and the distributors and the tech and app side, to help him on our side of Let's Grow Roofing Insights, to get more sponsors, more revenue in. And yeah, so at the conference, you're going to see me and Dimitri's face there. And
yeah, I'm
still
excited.
Going to continue to support.
Yeah, I'm really excited to meet you guys. Well, I did meet Dmitry in person, and he's great. I love him.
You met me too.
We met in person. Yeah, that's true. We've met in person, but very briefly. Like, I want to, I just wanted, I'm looking forward to this event cause I think it was at the Storm into the New Era, and it was just in passing where we kind of like talked briefly. Yeah. And so yeah, I'm really excited to, the whole conference is, I'm super excited about. I mean, this is kind of like going to be the bigger than ever. I feel like, I mean, part of it's because he's got you helping him out, my opinion, and you've got really brought a lot of people. Yes, he is. And so tell us about the roofing process conference. I mean, you're sort of like one of the main coordinators, if not the main coordinator. Is that right?
Yeah. So, our Roofing Insights team is really not that big. It's a couple of us. 6 of us total, and we all work really hard together. So Dmitry himself, he has so many people who follow him, and then me and Amber, we've been, and there's Quentin, there's Max, there's so many people. I don't want to like make them feel like they're not rocking it, because it wouldn't even be possible without them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, so what's going to be awesome about this specific conference is Dmitry really focuses on only allowing people who add value. So I've, offered him, hey, let's, bring in more vendors. Let's make it a little bit more this or that. Yeah. He's like, no way, Jose. Like, we're only going to allow like one company of this. I'm not going to be a sellout. I'm only going to allow the best of the best there. Like, he's very
because the fear is that it's like every roofing conference, a lot of conferences in general, that they call it a pitch fest, where it's just like all these vendors just you pitching you on buying their products. And I think it's given conferences a bad rap. But I think I haven't been to Dimitri's conference. I've been to his business class, which was incredible. It was like amazing, really. And so like I loved it. So I'm just thinking like this is on that level, you know, kind of like a whole new, like, you know, his roofing business class on steroids, you know, with all those speakers and stuff like that. I mean, did you help him kind of find those people and like kind of reach out and all that?
No, so the speakers, those that's part he handles himself,
Mm,
which he picked very specific people that he follows very closely.
mm-hmm.
And that's why he handles that, because he wants the specific speakers that he's interested in. So like Rodney Webb, the author of Profit First, and who's oh, sorry about that. There's just like some background there.
Oh, that's okay.
So I'm sorry. So some of the speakers that we're gonna have there, they're all very dedicated to adding value. Like even the breakout speakers, we're all meeting together the day before and just prepping everybody. We've emailed everyone like, hey, this is not, you're not allowed to pitch during your breakout session. This is only about adding value and creating content and adding to other people's lives. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you don't, if you're going to go somewhere and spend 2 days, that's a huge investment.
For sure.
The ticket is not an investment. The $700 is, you know, is replaceable. 2 days of your life is not,
Yeah.
is not. And being away from your family, being away from your business, being away from your kids, like all of that are things that Dmitry takes into consideration.
Mm.
And so we're gonna have the expo hours. You need to stop by our booth for sure. It's
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
incredible. We put in a lot of work to make it look
Yeah,
nice.
I'm excited.
We have some really cool. We have cool vendors there as well.
Well, I was really sad because I wanted to have a vendor. I wanted to be a vendor through my side business, the Media Lab, and someone beat me to the punch. So next year, sign me up before that other guy. But what was really cool is that you said, hey, you know, it's fine. You don't get a table, still come and bring your business cards and, you know, talk to people and whatever. Yeah. You know, it's not like just because you don't have a table, you can't, you know, still meet people and network and grow your business somehow, you know, which was really cool. So we're looking forward to attending, you know, for that reason and all just the knowledge there is to bring. And so one thing that I thought was really interesting that you guys did, Elizabeth, was like, if people can't go, they can still watch it. Is that right? Like on a record, like a professionally recorded, is it live stream or is it recorded?
It's recorded, so it's all going to be done professionally. We don't want people to miss out, especially, you know, right now we are very sensitive to what's happening in the world. While everyone has different opinions, as professionals, it's our obligation to take consideration to everybody's situation,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of what we think. So with as far as the people who can't make it due to, you know, just everything that's going on and just not having enough time, if whatever their circumstance may be, they can actually still feel like they're there and look at all of the content and get all of the resources from the event, and then watch it if they want to play it back at any time. Someone who's already going wants to access it, they can as well. So
well, it's
we
a
wanted to
great
make sure we
training
put that in.
opportunity if you could purchase that and then put your team in a conference room and let them watch it, you know, on a weekend or on a Friday or Thursday, Friday, let's say a couple days set aside, let them watch it. And it's a great way to learn and grow that way too. So, I mean, that's really cool. You guys, and very affordable. I want to say like $100 or something like that.
Yeah, 99.
Yeah, $99. So yeah, that's really good. And so like COVID, I mean, you guys took that into consideration, but you went forward with it anyways, right? I mean, was there a lot of talk about that? Was it like, hey, we should cancel, we should keep it? Was there some debate internally about all that?
No debates. We're all pretty much do or die, which is why Roofing Insights rocks so hard,
Mm,
is because we're like, okay, we are taking the circumstances into consideration, but we're not going to use that as an excuse to give ourselves a way out, to not have to perform, to not live up to our expectations, to not deliver the value that people need right now. Like more than ever right now, people need to hear that other people are struggling, that other people have overcome struggles, that
mm-hmm.
other people are doing well. We're all living through the same times. And so I think that being able to bring together the people in the community who are trying to overcome it together is something that people, when the recessions hit in 2008, if more people that were in that industry had come together, I feel like they could have created more solutions for people. And
Yeah.
if you there's more power in unity, there's more power in brainstorming. So if we have a lot of good people in a room who are all focused on not only improving themselves but improving an industry, we can create a massive impact and help shift how 2021 is going to go. And all of us together can go out of there and add more value to customers' lives. So if you think about it, just having this conference is going to impact hundreds of thousands of lives, because each business owner there works with thousands of people. And if you take all of that into consideration, you multiply it and add the growth effect, that's going to be freaking amazing.
Yeah.
The obligation that we have to, feed into people's businesses and help them grow is one that we can't take lightly.
Yeah, and I assume there's gonna be COVID precautions like masks and probably sanitizer
Social
stations,
distancing.
social distancing, all that kind of stuff.
And Atlas, one cool thing that we did. So my friend April Hall, she hosts the SRC, and one thing that she did at one of her events was she had these little bracelets
Mm.
with how safe you felt with being around other people. And so Atlas actually sponsored pins for the roofing process conference.
Mm.
So they sponsored the pins. If you feel safe, you can wear green. If you are maybe compromise and just don't feel safe being around a lot of people, you can wear red,
I like
and that
that.
just lets people know, hey, on top of wearing your mask, keep away from me.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
those are all.
Wow. That's a really cool idea. I like that. Out of my company, we talk about every week, hey, how are you feeling about COVID? And sometimes people aren't feeling too scared, and sometimes they kind of are. And if they are, you can work from home that week. It's not a big deal, and no one gets judged because of it. And I think that's really a great idea, because you don't really know. Is the other person maybe immune compromised, or maybe one of their loved ones passed away because of it. And they are concerned, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if there's a little pin that kind of tells you, then cool, you can keep a little social distance, maybe throw a little hand sanitizer on around them or something like that, So, yeah.
Yeah, it's be caring of others for sure.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing that's big for me, is I care about other people. So I would never want to make someone uncomfortable based off of my own beliefs. So I respect all of my employees. Like one of my employees told me she had a sore throat. I told her not to come in, go get tested. Like
Mm-hmm.
if anything, I always make sure everybody gets tested. I myself have been tested 7 times. Unfortunately, we did shut down our offices in August for an entire month.
Wow.
Because we all got COVID.
Wow. Well, in Orlando or Florida in general is kind of known as like the hot state or something like that. Hot spot. Yeah. The rumor is that people in Florida don't even care about COVID. At least you hear that kind of stuff on the news, but I'm sure, I know a lot of people do.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty bad out here. Like, you can go to the beach right now and it'll be packed.
Really? Wow. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But
well,
it's not Floridians. It's people all over the country come to South Florida. So there's the residents, I think, are extremely worried. It's more, there's so many vacationers. Like you can't identify them as Floridians. They're from freaking Nebraska and they're like, don't care about COVID. They're like, oh, I'm just going to go to Florida vacation,
Yeah.
So you have a lot of those type of people coming in as well.
Yeah. Well, so the roofing process conference by Roofing Insights is coming up here today in 2 days, right? Thursday. What is today? Monday. So today's Monday.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna have this podcast up tomorrow. So we're posting it on all of the channels, as many as we can get. And encouraging people, if any last minute people who haven't decided, they should just do it. If you have concerns about COVID, there will be precautions taking place, which is good. And and then also there's always if you really have concerns, you can get the recording, the professionally done recording that get it all that way too. And I know me personally as a roofing contractor, I get so much value out of these events because, like the last one I went to, there was this one contractor who's in my market, and I was talking to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we did this like text campaign recently, and we got like 30 leads." And I was like, "What? Like text campaign? I got 30 leads? Why am I not doing that?" And we kind of
campaign's awesome.
Yeah, we talked about it and stuff, and we kind of got some good ideas and everything. So yeah, we're working on building out the text campaign, and that just kind of is a little sign of like how iron sharpens iron. You go to these events, you have one little conversation, and like one little text campaign that can yield even 10 leads and I get 2 jobs out of it, like obviously that's way more, it was the ROI on going to the event was, more than paid for itself.
Yeah. And it's all about finding value in everything that you do. So always giving back and receiving with an open mind and an open heart. So those are things that I always try to, a lot of people call me positive Polly, but, but
That's awesome. That's
like
awesome.
I start off my employees' days with like quotes. They are already ready. Like there's one of my employees who she makes fun of them and she'll do predictive text for like for 3 sentences, and that'll be her quote for the day. Predictive text, like the sandwich was water with blue ice. Like something doesn't make sense.
That's funny. That's really funny. Well, Elizabeth, let you get back to it. I know you've got a lot going on with everything, and so we really appreciate you jumping on the show. And I think I'm excited that was able to talk to you and finally get you on the podcast. And wanting to get you on for so long. And you're actually the first female guest that we've had on season 2, COVID special. So yeah, we got 9 episodes on season 1. Now we're working on season 2, and we're calling it, the COVID special. So, anyways, yeah, we appreciate you again, and I will see you at the conference. Everybody, how do we find? We want to find. Actually, we want to get people on your waiting list. Right? Or you still have the waiting list going? If you want to get on Elizabeth's waiting list, how do people reach you?
Yeah, so visit us at business411.com. We're in the middle of doing a makeover on our personal site as well. My social media handles are Liz for Biz, Liz for the business. So
you haven't reached your 5,000 friends on Facebook yet?
Yeah, I have, but you can follow our business page is Business 411. So if anyone has any questions, why it's Business 411, that's the 411, the information center. We're creating a new resource channel for anyone who needs help. If you need any questions, I do offer free consultations. Especially if you're a woman in the industry, let me know. I would love to help out more women. I'm looking to collaborate with more women. I'm looking to collaborate with more intelligent men who are positive, who want to change their businesses. So overall, just good people in the industry, contact me. Let's brainstorm. Let's talk about what you need. And I'm here to help.
That's awesome. Thank you, Elizabeth. We'll see you at the conference, and have a good rest of the day.
Thanks. Take care. Bye, Armando.
Bye.